I guess we are already live here, so let me stop immediately the share. And here we have Mindful Pat and Lele at the present show also today. Hi, folks. We are a bit late, but that's the good thing of being live, that we can also be anytime. Sometimes it's never easier to come on time, right? And today it's only me and Pat, right? So first, Pat, how's it going? All is fine there?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for coming live.
Yes. Everything's great.
And another important thing as well I would like to share today is that since we don't have guests, we need to have some ideas, to make a good show. And I have some ideas for you, Pat. So follow me if you think you are able to to help me with that. So I am now I have an idea, and this idea I would like to know if it has to do something with mindfulness, right? So that's the point. So that means you will be my mindful checker, and you will tell me if it makes sense and if mindfulness really can help this or not. Okay.
Is it like yes, no? Should I get like a sound going, like beep?
You can try, or you can tell me, no, Lele, that's not part of mindfulness, or yes. So I would start with today. The topic is communication. So we said in some of the present show that communication and mindfulness are connected, because while you are more mindful, you are able as well to feel what the other might think or how the other attention is. So by focusing more, you focus more on what you think, how you say something, right? So now let's go to an office environment. Majority of offices, and maybe you can comment if you are one of the office that is so gifted that you don't have these problems, but majority of office work in a corporate and not in a corporate works through emails. So this is why, so you join your normal work, and what they tell you should do is you should just check your inbox and send emails here and there and here and there, right? So this is the basic. Now, it's been several years I'm trying to share the idea is that email is just the convention. But if we would be really more, at this point, I would use mindful about the communication, you would realize that email communication is the last thing you would like to use for certain kind of communication. And I give some examples. So, for example, you need to thank somebody. So when you thank somebody, you need some kind of, empathy. You need to talk to someone. And it would be much better instead of sending your note with "thank you, I liked a lot your job," you would either take a phone. You need to dedicate your time in this. You would maybe try to meet this person, or even going over live Skype or Zoom or conversation. So that is what I consider different kind of communication. And the only way to realize that is to be mindful about the message you're going to send, so that the channel you choose, channel email is a channel, but the one we're using now, live show, is YouTube channel. The channel you use is better suited for that particular kind of communication. Right. Are we still in the mindfulness side, Pat?
Yes. I mean, it really depends on the situation, but I agree with you completely that the most effective way to communicate is always face-to-face. We're not always gifted with that luxury, and that's where I say, video conferences, video messages, personal letters that you write, calling is always better than sending an email. I mean, even a text message, or maybe even via social media. I know that we communicate through various mediums when we talk. So you have to be very mindful of the whole context. You have to be mindful of that other person, what their day-to-day is like, what their preferred method of communication is. And then you also have to be mindful of the things that you have to do. Because, for example, if I know that I have to send a quick email to someone that's not on my way, and I'm going to that office building to talk with those people, then maybe sending an email is good in this situation, but not in another.
Yeah. To come back, try to think about all those situations where you received a message that was really, really something that left you, touched, emotionally. That could be even a kind of a feedback about something you didn't do correctly or that wasn't appreciated particularly. And think about how you would like to have received this particular message. Certainly not through a note. Certainly not through only a text. So now in the world of social media, we have videos, we have audios, we have different kind of communication that we didn't have maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And it doesn't mean that there are certain ones that you shouldn't use, but there are some that are not correct in that particular moment. So a good mindful practice would help you to, stop, as Mindful Pat usually tells us, stop and think, okay, what I'm gonna communicate, to whom, what is the outcome I would like to get. So I would like to get, somebody to change something, or somebody to be happy, or somebody to just get the message. So if I'm aim for clarity, aim for detail. So when I project myself there, I already know, remove certain kind of channels, and I get to the right one that would help me much more to get the message I want to share, but in a much better way. Right.
And you brought up also a point, I grabbed onto it really quickly, the emotional side. Mm-hmm. So communicating emotions face to face allows you to read emotions better. Mm-hmm. If you're sending an email that's lengthy, or you're trying to give feedback, or you're emotional, or the receiver is emotional, that is exactly when you should practice being mindful. Stop before you send the message, stop after you send the message, and see if that's really how you want to tweak it. I know we have some like personality insights and tone analysis that you can use Watson, our cognitive engines, to analyze, the text, and there's too much anger there. Those are pretty useful for people that are, I guess, beginning their journeys of understanding their emotions or other people's emotions. But as Lele said, stop and just try to think what you're trying to say, how it's going to make you feel, and how it's going to make the other person think and feel also.
And potentially this works also for not only for the textual, but also for the live interaction. I don't know how many times I met somebody and I completely forgot the name. Right. This happens countless times every time you meet somebody. Like you forget the name, or you would like to say something and you don't, because you are so focused on things that they don't have any purpose. So I don't know, the little details, right? So a practice would, that may be a question for Pat, because I don't know, would a mindful practice help also this side? So would I remember more the names, or be more able to act live in front of somebody in a better way if I have a good practice?
There's different techniques for remembering people's names. For me, mindfulness would be the awareness of, like, you're aware right now that you're bad with people's names.
Okay.
Is that it for you? Are you going to just stay? Is that okay for you? Or are you going to try to change that? And then if you're going to try to change that, then there's different techniques. You could relate the word or the name to like a symbol or a memory, or try to repeat their name several times, or even make a joke about it. Each time you meet that person, I forgot your name again. But I remember, maybe, you might remember smells or situations better. And you're like, I forgot your name, but I remember that you made me feel really great when you gave me that compliment about my t-shirt or something. So it's about being aware of the situation that's going on right now.
But it's important that I'm aware in the next time as well. So like now I meet Pat and I don't remember your name. I don't know, James, now what is the name? And then I need to bear in mind the next time I meet somebody, I really need to focus on the name if I want to focus on that one, right? So that is also where the awareness might help me to, by knowing it,
But okay, so say I meet you, right? That's the third, fourth time, right? And I just keep forgetting Lele. And then you say something to me and I start thinking, oh, I need to remember Lele's name. How am I going to remember Lele's name? Oh, I'm going to try to, and you're talking to me the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm not there, right? I'm not mindful. So I don't know, should you be there and give that person that presence, your presence, or should you be thinking about how you want to create a future presence? I don't have a right answer.
But still, the awareness helps you to correct according to your will at this point, right? Assuming that we have a free will, this free will is potentially like the fact that we are able then to direct it wherever we want to. Okay. So and the same thing is when we are talking in social networks. So messages you send in the comments, even if they say that a tweet lasts no more than 6 minutes, or like the lifespan of a tweet is like between 6 and 18 minutes, something like this. So a lot of stuff are gone forever in the mixture of everything. But still, it's good to think and to have a practice around that, so that the messages you share are according to what you would like effectively to share. And this means that you really need to think about the receiver, the possible readers, and so on. That is part of mindfulness, like part of being aware of our actions and our presence in this moment.
Right.
Do you have a story or a practice that could help us, Pat?
For communications? Maybe about making a difference. Because a lot of the things we do, it's to make a difference, right? To make a difference for yourself, for others, for whatever it is, but we want to change something or influence something, right? With communication, we're trying to say something. So the story goes like this. There's a gentleman, and he wakes up from his luxury house, his beach house, and he goes on the balcony and he sees that there's tens and thousands of little starfish that are washed up on the beach, right? They're out of the water and they're on the beach. And he sees that there's this little girl running around the beach, and she's picking up a starfish and throwing it in the water, right? Picking up an individual starfish and throwing it in the water. He's thinking like, oh, what is this little girl doing? She's wasting her time. So he leaves his house, goes on the beach, and approaches the little girl. And he says, little girl, you're just one. There's tens and thousands of starfish. You're not making a difference. And the little girl just looks at the guy. She picks up a starfish, throws it in the water, and she says, I made a difference for that one.
Yeah.
So it made me also think of the Twitter. You're saying 6 to 18 minutes, but think about it. Each time you say something, each time you communicate, each word that you choose to say is a little bit of you. It's about you trying to make that difference, that place in the world. I had a teacher once explain it to me that if you had a jar of water, of clear water, and each time you practice mindfulness, you take a drop of blue dye, of blue food coloring, and you drop it in the water, right? It will take days or weeks or months before that water is blue, right? But each time you practice, each time you're aware, it adds to giving you that blue.
So that's some thought to hold, and the usual pearls of wisdom of a mindful path I always like. But that means also, from coming back to communication, that any single message you're going to send in the office and at home or anywhere else, but considering your business environment, is going to impact people around you. So if you are the first one that start being mindful and sending good messages, appropriate messages, you will make a difference one by one, peer to peer.
Exactly.
Can we close with a mindful minute as well, Pat?
Yes. Well, just one thing that I want to emphasize also, because we talked a lot about sending the messages, but also when you receive messages, right, be mindful, because people can send something that will make you think or make you feel certain things, So observe your emotions, observe your thoughts, you know. Don't try to judge that person. Don't let the stress or the fear overwhelm you, you know. We're all searching for the same thing. So just be also mindful when you receive. So mindful minute. Let's just close our eyes, sit back, stand back. Keep your eyes open if you're, you know, walking around somewhere or driving, listening to us. And just bring your attention to your breath. Bring your attention to your body. Notice how you're feeling today. Trying to relax any tension you might have, allowing that awareness to relax that area. And bring your attention to the environment that you're in. The sounds you hear, the temperature, the layout, whatever it is. And take the last few seconds to think about how you want to communicate to others, to yourself, and to that environment that you're in. And smile and open your eyes if they're closed.
And thank you so much, Pat. This concludes the present show of today. Thank you guys for watching live. We had 4 folks watching today live, 5 at the beginning, but probably we came too late and somebody gave up. See you next Monday with the next present show. And thank you again for being here with us.
Thank you.